Alright. I know I made a big stink about playing this game on the PS3 just to make sure there were no problems, but I changed my mind. I'm a very wishy-washy person. We're going to get back into Tomb Raider Underworld, and we are going to try it on PC. I know I got burned on doing PC versions of Tomb Raider games last time when I did Tomb Raider Anniversary, but I'm hopeful that there's not going to be an issue this time around. We'll dig into it and find out. I did take a quick look at a listing of a trusted Tomb Raider site where they actually give a rundown of some known glitches, and most of the glitches and stuff are common all across the board. There wasn't anything that seemed to be specific to the PC version or older versions of the game, so I don't know. I'm crossing my fingers and hoping that that we're not going to have any issues with this version of the game. The reason I'm switching over is because after playing a little bit of the PS3 version, boy, it was choppy and it did not look that great. Everything looked fantastic except for how choppy the frames were. Yeah, I don't know if it just wasn't optimized well enough or what the deal was, but it didn't run that well on PS3. And from what I've played up to on the PC version, it seems to do pretty good. So we'll see how it turns out. I'm hopeful that this is going to be decent, but let's get into it and find out. Start it up here in just a sec. Okay, so here we go. So I did play up to the point that I left off at on the PS3 version, but I thought it might be nice to take a look. Let me see, do I even have that save file? Oh, okay, I guess it's save game 1. To take a look at the level that we've already played, just to kind of have a comparison. You can let me know if you think it looks better in the PC version or the PS3 version. Leave your comments down below. If you want, I don't really care. But I thought it'd be kind of fun, because we didn't really play through all that much of this Thailand level, so we could sort of make a comparison between the two and see if it actually looks better or not. But I think it'll be somewhat evident. The only thing is, there's like this weird haze that's apparent in the PS3 version that I do not see on the PC version. PC is much clearer, so I don't know. If you like that kind of stuff, which sometimes I do, it's not gonna be present, so it is what it is. But yeah, basically we went through all this prior, and it's been a good little game so far. I'm actually quite impressed with what I played. You know, performance issues aside, I think this is a definite step up from the last two that we played. It blends some aspects of Legend, it blends some of the aspects from Anniversary, but overall, I think it does a pretty good job at sort of advancing what was already established in terms of gameplay mechanics, and kind of feeling like a step up. I guess I probably should have jumped from that other point. Not a huge deal. Let me check something real fast. Okay, let's see here. I want to make sure that everything is up and running. Which it looks like it is. Stop for a sec, I know. Okay. Nice thing about this game too is I can actually alt-tab out. I couldn't do that on PC with Anniversary or Legend. So I think it's just because those games are a little bit older. And this one is actually a 7th gen game, so it should function a little bit more properly on PC. I'm sure the PC port, in some regards, when it originally launched, wasn't the most preferable one to use, But I mean, it's got controller support right off the bat. I think it supports up to 4K. We're running at 60 frames. So far so good. No complaints from me. Let's see what we got here. I didn't really go secret hunting last time, so I figure maybe we could do a little bit of that. It looks nice, so that's good. Look at when things look nice. There are these secrets, as we've seen in previous sections. Area info, 30 treasures. My god. The relics, much like in Anniversary, are few and far between, and they also seem to probably unlock the, I don't know, better stuff. But the treasures, my goodness, there's a lot of them. I believe they were called artifacts in Tomb Raider Anniversary, but you know, you had maybe like 4 to 6 artifacts in Anniversary, and this one, yeah, we're getting up into the multiples of 10s, 20, 30, something like that. So, I mean, 30 in this one, so at least that amount at its highest. So I'm definitely not going for all of them, but I mean, if I see something, I guess I'll try to go after it unless I'm feeling like I'm pressed for time. That could be a thing too. Whoa, what was that? But yeah, going through this area in particular, I feel like the previous area in this game that we did on the boat, although it did get a little choppy on the boat, and the underwater caverns, I feel like those operated a little bit better. It seemed like they were flowing okay. But boy, by the time we got to this Thailand jungle area, just with as much foliage as there is, and I mean, it is really dense. It is, I think it's pretty impressive looking. We had some comments last time while I was streaming this that you could just kind of feel the passion put into making these environments feel alive. And definitely so. I mean, it's a good looking game still. All these years later. This came out in like, what, 2009 or something like that, so I mean, over a decade. Wrong way. But yeah, it seems like it was a little bit too much for the PS3 to handle. I do wonder, because some people were talking about playing this game through backwards compatibility on Xbox One, or maybe Xbox Series X or S or something along those lines. I do wonder if it, just because it's on those modernized consoles, if they did allow it to run better too. Because I imagine between the PS3 and the 360 it probably ran pretty close in terms of actual optimization. But that might be an option too. The PC version goes for super cheap. I mean, I got this game as part of a bundle, which equated to maybe like $1. So you can get the PC version pretty cheap, and I mean, you know, we're looking at the evidence of what it looks like here. It looks pretty damn good. But when I took a look in the Microsoft store, this game they were selling it for $20. Now I'm sure if there was a sale going on, they might have cut it down to, I don't know, $10, something like that. So thank you for the follow. Scamvax Pandemic 2021. Appreciate it. How you doing today? But yeah, kind of curious about it. None of the DLC is available on the PC version. That's the only thing I kind of wish I had access to. But it's not imperative that I actually have that. I mean, the core game is where it's at for the most part. But maybe one of these days, or if I could find a disc or something for pretty cheap, I might end up doing that. I kind of regret giving away, because I gave it away to a friend, and now I don't even talk to that person anymore. But I gave it away years ago, my standalone copy of it. Now the only physical copy I have of Underworld is part of the trilogy. So you are fine. Very good. I am fine as well. I'm just getting started into this game. Played it a little bit on PS3. Didn't like how it ran on there, so I'm doing the PC version. Hopefully we're not going to run into any issues like we ran into with Anniversary on PC. But we'll see how it goes. So we did a few of this on, so I didn't know that they would like pop up so quickly. We did a little bit of this level last time on PS3, but not too much. These guys are hard to avoid, and I don't remember how to do the adrenaline shots. I think she can, okay, yeah, she could like jump over them. So we can still kind of hit them up a little bit. Combat's been a little fierce. I need to kind of figure out the nuances of it. I feel like with Legend, it was kind of a similar experience. I wasn't exactly sure what I was doing at first, but it sort of became a little bit more clear. And I actually really like the combat in Legend. I sort of missed the ability to kind of like kickflip off of people. I thought that was kind of cool. I guess you can kind of do it here, but you don't get immediate slowdown mode. Maybe that was too easy. So far, so good. I kind of feel, I know it doesn't really look it, but I kind of feel like the camera is a little bit more stable in this version too. For whatever reason. like that section right there, it got a little frantic. But for whatever reason with the PS3 version, I felt like the camera was just hopping all over the place. And this one, it's a little more stable in my opinion. Maybe this just has to do with something about the calibration of the analog sticks. I don't know, but regardless, I think it feels a little better, so that's good. Might also have something to do with the increased frame rate, too. Maybe the camera whipping around just looks a little bit better in 60. Adrenaline meters full headshots can be triggered. Yes, how do I do that? How do? Hold LT to lock gun, get close, and press X. Okay. I could do that. Wherever they are. That one, please. That. No. Oof. Okay, that didn't work out. I thought maybe I could press X while I was in the air. Oh well. What's up, Onaji? How you doing tonight? Banana? What do you mean banana? Do I have any ammo left over with this? I guess I got a little. Where is that adrenaline meter anyway? Okay, I guess I don't have it filled out because nothing's happening. Whoa, where did that one come from? Home from work, chilling? Alright, cool. Well, glad to see you here. I think one of those tigers just like spawned out of midair. Okay, this I neglected to go after last time, but I think I'm gonna go after it this time around. There's something over here. I think it's just a basic treasure, but if it's a relic, that'd be nice. Oh. It wasn't that far. This was any of the previous two Tomb Raider games, she wouldn't have died. Aw, I gotta fight the tigers again. Oh, damn. Is this the same game I started off in the bathing suit? Yeah, in the wetsuit. This is the same one. I'm just playing off of a different platform. Cause yeah, that PS3 version was a little bit rough. I don't want to go into it after going into it just a few minutes ago, but it was a little gnarly. It's the same game though, yeah. It just runs a little better. Okay, so what did I miss over here? Is there something? I need to jump to the... Nah, it seems too far. I think I still need to jump over there. I just need to grab onto it. Okay, cool. Alright, sure. Whatever then. Maybe there was a handhold spot over the point I was kind of standing on. I will look at it one more time. Evidently we can't jump to the other side from that other spot though, so I won't try that again. But if I don't see another spot that I can hold on to, then I'm not even going to try. Let me try that. There we go. Nice. Somehow I don't think kicking a tiger is going to work all that well for me. Doesn't really look like it. Wish I had some binoculars or something. Alright, whatever. I'm not gonna go about that. What about that bar right by the waterfall? I don't think she can make that jump. Yeah, I thought about that too, but that seems a little bit far. Alright, so watch, I'll go over here. I'm not gonna try that jump again because I don't think it's gonna work. I don't think she could grab onto that. That seems a little bit too rough. One would think that I would just need to jump across there, but that... Boy, if she can't make that jump over there, do you think she can make that? Those are like parallel bars that she swings off of, though. I think the idea is to get over here, drop off there, sidle around, like jump over here, hang on here, sidle on there, and then back jump from there to there. Probably jump over from where those triple statues are. Didn't really look like there was anything I could access over there. But yeah, that would make more sense, wouldn't it? Doesn't look like there's a spot necessarily that I can grab onto, but I don't know. It's not a huge deal. It just looks like it's a regular treasure, not like a relic or anything. I'm not even necessarily going for 100% of any of this stuff, so I'm not too worried about it. It is somewhat perplexing, though, is it not? But this is where those triple statues are. And there's not... I mean, I guess I could jump over there, but that's probably not a spot that I can... Let's try it over here. That's not good. No, can't even jump over there. Yeah, I don't know. And I don't want to die again. And then have to fight the tigers again, so I'm just going to leave it for right now. We still need to catch up to where we left off at the PS3 version. Oh, whoops. Hold up. Oh. Last second, I think I noticed that she could take her guns out while standing on the thing here. Any more bats? I sort of made note of it last time, but what I do like about this game is that, I mean, aside from these spots, which are very obvious, but there's a lot of sections in this game where it's not completely, like, evident exactly where you need to jump off onto. It was especially evident. Whoa, what the hell? Whoa! That was some weird camera. It's, but... on the ship, yeah, that was a little bit hard to tell exactly where I needed to go. And even some spots in the underwater cavern area. Boy, these things just keep coming, don't they? Spider Central. Coming to realize that only specific special looking pots and jars will actually have some treasures in them. Usually the bigger, fancier looking ones. Everything else not so much though. I don't think they have anything in them. Oops. Shit. God, these things don't give up, do they? Constantly trying to grab onto me, even like following me from all the way over there. Speaking of spiders, I'm heavily considering playing a Spider-Man game at some point soon-ish. Okay, so we already saw this. I guess I could watch it. Whatever, probably wasn't that long.
Sanskrit. They're severely weathered. Bhagavati of the 7th. It must be referring to the capital of Patala, the lowest infernal world in Hindu tradition. It's a netherworld populated by snake people, although the enlightened one, Narada, spoke rather fondly of it. That's Shiva on top, and his mistress Kali is down below.
Why is he putting her down there? What's going on? Which Spider games? Spider PS1? No, though I've actually seen somebody stream that game recently. I don't know that's necessarily something I want to check out, though. But Spider-Man 1 and 2 on PS1 isn't a bad idea. I was playing a little bit of that recently. Used to have both of those games, and I have no clue what happened to them. Like, I had physical copies of those games, and they're just gone now. I have no clue what happened. I might have. There was one time where I wasn't playing my PS1 much, and I lent it to a family with some kids because I thought they'd get a kick out of it. Probably one of the worst things I ever did because all the games I got back were basically destroyed. But I might have. Boy, I might have given them that Spider-Man game. That's the only thing I could. Okay, cool, Lara. Thought you were supposed to grab onto stuff automatically. But that's the only thing I could think of where it might have gone, because otherwise, I don't know. It's weird. I've got everything else, I think. What's going on here? I guess we gotta do something with these ropes. I thought they were both pretty good, but Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro was an exclusive, whereas Spider-Man 1, boy, I think that was on PC and N64, so Spider-Man 2 Enter Electro was a little bit more unique, and it just kind of improved the formula, I felt. I also thought it was harder. I remember thinking it was a lot harder than the previous one. alright. She still lost a lot of health, but at least we didn't die. What is this? How you doing, Lara? What are you doing? What was that? A little do-si-do going on. Oh, I see. But then they went on to improve that formula in the Sam Raimi movie game. I always thought that one was alright. Though also, that one, I think that one was probably harder than 2. Shit. And they just kept getting progressively harder, and then I think, like, Spider-Man 2, based off the Sam Raimi movie. Oh, I just noticed, Onaji, you were talking about Spider-Man 2 on PS2. I thought you were talking about Spider-Man 2 on PS1, because we were mentioning PS1. Yeah, no, everybody thinks Spider-Man 2 on PS2 is like one of the greatest superhero games of all time. That one has always been held in high regard. And it's hard to blame anybody for thinking that, because it was pretty damn good. Against the wall or move it? Oh, do I gotta push up against it? Oh, there it goes. Weird. Can I... Oh lord, you weren't here for that Spawn Armageddon stream? I thought... Boy, who was here? I thought I was talking to somebody and we were laughing about how bad it was. I played it on PS2, which is a notoriously broken version. And I specifically got the PS2 version because it's what I had as a kid. Supposedly the GameCube... I was talking to a friend of mine and they were telling me that the GameCube and the Xbox versions were fixed. But, whoo, boy, that Spawn Armageddon on PS2 was nasty. That was a hell of a game. I'm not seeing where exactly I need to put this, or do I even need to put it anywhere? Maybe I just needed to loosen that up. Well, it probably is the best Spawn game, but it is not good on PS2. It is absolutely broken. Horrible hitboxes, horrible collision detection, horrible... I mean, the level design is pretty bad, but if we're just talking about how broken the game is, it's got a lot of problems on the PS2 platform. Whereas I've heard, I don't actually know because I don't own those versions, but I've heard that on GameCube and on Xbox it's better. And it would be a kind of a cool game. I mean, it's a bit of a DMC clone. Can't be too upset with that, but yeah, no, just the execution. That's what counts. If it wasn't horribly broken on the PS2, I think it would be a very serviceable yet mediocre game, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I need to go back up here, and then we need to maybe jump over here to get back. I don't think I need to do anything with that, like... Oh, Superman 64. We just naming like bad superhero games. Never played it. I did have a friend that actually owned it, though. And... boy, did I laugh at him. Because he had it as a kid. He had it when it came out, I think. Because he did like that Superman animated series show. And I mean, I did too. There wasn't no Batman animated series, but yeah, it was alright. But anyway, he had that game, and oh my god, what was that camera? Also, can I... There we go, finally. She actually grabs onto the thing. He had that game, and he'd always tell me the horror stories about him trying to beat it. Never could finish it. And he was one of those kids that always finished any game he had, because he didn't have too many. Kinda wish I played it now. I mean, I could emulate it if I really wanted to do so, but I would have wanted to try it on the actual console. Huh, I didn't even notice this. Yeah, this probably would have been easier to cross than having to go up top. Oh well. There's a few good superhero games out there, though. I feel like Spider-Man is usually the pinnacle considered. That and the Arkham series. Those are like the two pioneers and best of their ilk. But there's a few other good ones. X-Men Origins Wolverine, for instance. A lot of people like Hulk Ultimate Destruction, but I never played that one. A friend of mine was just recently asking about the first Iron Man, right? Not the second one. The second one was shitty, I thought. I thought the second one was awful. I don't remember the first one that much, but I don't remember it being particularly egregious. There we go. Tightens it up, I guess. But anyway, a friend of mine was asking about the Ghost Rider game, and I remember written that a while back because I had a family member that really liked Ghost Rider for some reason. I don't. It's somewhat a weird superhero when I think about it. But what the hell is going on here? Whoa, that doesn't seem right. But anyway, the Ghost Rider game that's based off of the Nicolas Cage movie is like a really mediocre God of War clone, and it's on the PS2 as well, so it kind of has that same vibe of the original God of War games. And then it's got like some bad Viking segments. Ah, there we go. Oh. I forget that there are those time segments. I guess it's better than QTEs. You know, this game hasn't had one QTE yet. It just has like reactionary stuff, which I guess is kind of the same, but at least it's not flash on like buttons in front of your face. So they kind of did something a little bit different. I wasn't too keen on the QTE segments in Anniversary, gotta say. And I'm not usually one that minds too much. Whoa, okay, wow. Well, I got rid of a lot of them, but it also hit me pretty hard. What even are those? Why are you targeting birds? Interesting. I'm sure that'll come into play at some point. The statue almost looks like it's made to move. What'd the X button come up for? That was weird. Oh, okay. Let's see if we can find out what's up here. And then I could go down that staircase and take a look over that way. What other good superhero games are there outside of the Arkham and Batman? Batman Arkham and the Spider-Man series. I'm trying to take a look. I feel like I have a few. I just don't remember what they are. This was a topic of discussion I had, like, maybe about a month ago, too. I'm trying to surmise what games might be okay. Somebody was saying that the Rise of the Imperfects game was pretty good. Man, when I first saw that, like, previews for that game, it always looked like shit to me, but I don't know. See, I didn't really like X-Men Legends. I didn't like that gameplay style. I know that it pioneered whatever the hell that gameplay style was, because then, I think the X-Men Legends games came out first, and then Marvel Ultimate Alliance took it from there. And then there was that really bad Justice League game that was a copy of that, and then like every other superhero game had to be that same style. But I don't know, they never really hooked me. I had both of them. I had Legends 1 and 2. Oh, the Punisher, yeah, the Punisher on PS2 is good, but was that one based on the movie? I thought that was a standalone one. There was a lot of Marvel games that were coming out that were just like based off of nothing. They were like comic based more than anything. I thought that's what I remember the Punisher game being like, but I could be wrong. What's up, Tay-Tay? This is such a failed experiment. What, this game? And I don't know why you hate this game so much. I'm actually liking it more than Anniversary and whatever the fuck the other one was. Legend. Oops. Well, there goes that. The Marvel Ultimate Alliance was free, and it still wasn't worth the time. Yeah, you were just spitting straight fire, aren't you? I liked Ultimate Alliance okay, although I had the inferior versions. The games were released on PS2 and PS3, and I had those. I had the PS2 versions, and they weren't that great in comparison. They were still okay, but what can I do with this? Nothing. Or is that the spot I hook onto? Well, we'll do that a little bit later. Let's see what I can do with this cage here. I feel like I need to... I don't know what I need to do with that. I don't even know what this is for. I don't know if this is for like a puzzle or what, just to get a treasure, or if this is actually something that is a requirement. You didn't like how they did her face in this game. It mess up. You think Xfinity just blocked half the website's direct ISP IP style? Can't access anything but YouTube. That's weird. Once again, I'm gonna say that is a really superficial reason to not like a game. I think she looks fine. In fact, I think she looks probably the best she's looked in this entire Legend trilogy. There we go. Whatever that is. But you just said, okay, so you said what a failed experiment this game is, and the only reason you don't like it is because her face looks different. Okay, man. Whatever you say. I don't know that I quite get that, but alright. One of these days I'm gonna have to play through a lot of those superhero games, because they're all pretty damn short. But most, like, there's a lot of them that are actually pretty decent. You know, it was stupid. There was a Wolverine game that was tied in with X-Men 2. And it has absolutely nothing to do with the movie, except that they got Patrick Stewart to do the voice of Professor Xavier. And other than that, there's like no other tie or relation to the actual movie. But it's not a bad game. It's a Wolverine game, but it's like a stealth game. It's not really super action oriented. I gotta put a doobie in his hand. He is holding out for that, right? I gotta put something in there. I don't know what it is though, but as soon as I get off of this, it goes back up. So there's something that needs to... There's something that needs to happen. We'll look into it a little bit later though. I'm gonna see what's down the staircase, because there might be something I need to mess around with that. You didn't do too good on her face? Or they didn't do too good on her face? I mean, you're entitled to your opinion, man, but so am I. And I think they did. So, you know. You can keep saying it and I can keep saying it. We could be here all day. Alright, cool. Well, I'm sure that'll do something at some point. Let's go down here and find out what we could do. Tomb Raider Anniversary and Tomb Raider Legend are the best games in your eyes. Well, you are entitled to your opinion. Legend was a little bit too short for me, and I thought the bike segment sucked ass hard. So, I wouldn't consider Legend my favorite. Anniversary was okay, but I don't like it better than the original Tomb Raider. I don't like some of the writing. I don't like the QTEs. I don't like the fact that the game is fucking broken on the PC version. So that's somewhat upsetting too.
The architecture here is different. It's similar to the Niflheim ruins.
Are all the games in the Legend trilogy together, or is Anniversary kind of just a separate thing? You're a little hazy on how the timelines work. So, Anniversary is a remake of Tomb Raider 1, but it also retcons a couple things, or maybe not even retcons, maybe that's not the right word. It adds a couple elements to the story that make it fit better with Legend and Underworld. You could basically consider the first 6 Tomb Raider games all as one canon. So Tomb Raider 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and Angel of Darkness, those are all developed by the same company at Core Design. So they all fit into the same canon with each other. Legend is a soft reboot. And I guess nowadays it's kind of considered its own, like, timeline. So it's completely separate. But the idea for Legend at the time was to kind of rework the Tomb Raider games in a sense, to make them a little bit more, I don't know, in depth. And they added a little bit more to Lara's backstory, and you know, they did a handful of things to kind of build off of the established Tomb Raider games, because there really wasn't much to begin with. I mean, Lara was an adventurer that hunted for artifacts, and that was pretty much all you knew about her. And then in Angel of Darkness, it was a little bit different because they had a bit of a story attached to that, but that never really panned out because the game flopped horribly and they decided they didn't want to continue with it anymore. So you like Tomb Raider, the remake, and Tomb Raider Anniversary? Yeah, like for what, the 2008 one? I'll have to play it again because I don't want to shed my opinions on it too much, but like I said before a couple times, I'm not really looking forward to playing those games, to be quite honest. I'm gonna go this way because I gotta go past that gate. But eventually, a lot of people ended up considering, instead of the Legend trilogy being a soft reboot, it was just a full-on different timeline. I think that's how most like fans consider it nowadays. Angel of Darkness, that game is broken. You should play the PC version, do the Rescued mod pack. That's what I played it on, and I actually didn't run into any problems, except for like a couple audio glitches and maybe some minor stuff, but the full game was playable. I thought it was pretty fun. Just the story kind of sucked, and it wasn't terribly difficult. How many hours is a normal Tomb Raider game? 8 to 10? Depends on which one you're playing. If you're playing a core design game, you're probably gonna be expected to play at least 10 hours, maybe a little bit more than that. So like Tomb Raider, except in the case of Chronicles. Chronicles is super, super short. And in the case of Last Revelation, that game is super long. So that game might end up being more like 15 hours, 20 if you're really lost. But the rest of them, it's probably at least a 10-hour game. Legend was incredibly short. I was actually kind of disappointed at how short Legend was. Legend was probably a 5 or 6 hour game. You didn't even consider the new ones Tomb Raider? They're very different, aren't they? I mean, they're Tomb Raider in a sense that they have Lara Croft, but they don't feel anything. Except for like some really minor points. They don't really feel anything like any of the previous games. And then if you're playing the new Tomb Raiders, like I'm just talking about here, those are probably like 15 to 20 hour games, especially if you're like really thorough. Because those are kind of like Arkham games. I've always considered those games to be kind of a blend between the Batman Arkham series and Uncharted. But they're pretty long. They have some Metroid-esque gameplay mechanics where you have to get like upgrades and stuff to progress and like backtrack to other levels and progress through sections of the game with upgrades that you get. So, which is a sort of a gameplay aspect that carries over into some of the Arkham games. So those ones usually end up being longer. I mean, those could probably be up to maybe like 20-30 hours or something like that. Here's something. That was a massive lens she just put in her pack. Broken on PS... Angel Darkness broken on PS2? Yes, probably. I've never played it, but I've definitely heard. Go away, bats. This one I remember being a decent length. Anniversary probably took me... maybe 10 hours? And then this one I think might have been a little bit longer even. If not longer, then probably about the same amount of time that Anniversary took. One thing I'm noticing about this game though is like it is kind of hard to tell where you need to go. Which in some regards I enjoy, but in terms of a stream I wish I could move through it a little bit quicker. Ooh. Ooh, whoa, 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 spiders coming out of nowhere. I think I said it multiple times at this point, progressing through the series, but if you are ever, anybody that's ever looking to start in the Tomb Raider game series, go for Tomb Raider 1 on PS1 or Saturn or PC if you want it a little easier because you can save anywhere. But that's probably the best introduction you can get into the series. And then if you like it from there, you could just continue on in release order, I think. I think that's probably the best way to do it. Although by the time you get to 3, that might diminish your spirits. Just because of how brutal it can be. Oh, I don't like that. He's spitting no shit up at me. But anyway, I've been playing all of these games since March of this year, and I don't think I've had an issue with any of them. I've had a pretty good time playing all these games. Okay, that didn't work. Outside of, you know, some of the game glitches and whatnot. But other than that, I mean, it's been a pretty enjoyable experience. Have I ever played Shadow of the Tomb Raider? That's the third one from the reboot trilogy, yeah? That's the one that came out most recently, yes? If it's that one, that's the only Tomb Raider game I haven't played at this point. I've played literally everything else. It didn't start out that way. Prior to me streaming all these games, I never played, at least not all the way. I didn't play through 3 or 2, I don't think. I don't remember now. But we'll get to it eventually. I'm a little apprehensive about it just because of the length of those games. The fact that I don't necessarily know if I want to play through them, but I'm gonna do it anyway. Whether we like it or not. Son of a bitch, that guy's still following me around. Here we go with the second one. I think these must go into that statue of whatever it was. Shiva. Yeah, I don't think that's something I'm supposed to jump across. Looks like I gotta climb my way up there. But yeah, prior to streaming these games, I did not play, I don't think, all the way through 2, 3, and then Angel of Darkness I never touched it at all, just because that game scared me. But playing it on PC was pretty nice. Oh yeah, 3 was brutal. 3 was not easy. Hey, how's it going, Lara? Good to see you. How you doing? Three was infamous for being the hardest Tomb Raider for the longest time, and the devs core made it. You know, they called it that it was a game made for Tomb Raider fans. So it was for people that were already seasoned in the Tomb Raider games already. Just woke up. It's a little late, but I don't know what your schedule's like. But good morning. Am I going to stream live on... Wait, what? Am I going to live stream on my channel one day? What do you mean? Am I not doing that? I am confused. Yeah, I think today's the day, though. Three brought back the save points with it, which I think especially screwed people over. No, it wasn't save points. It brought back the save crystals, so you had limited saves, which people always take exception to. I mean, you look at the people that bitch about, like, old school Resident Evil. It's usually about the lack of being able to save however many times you want because of the ink ribbons. But anyway, that could be kind of brutal at first, but if you're pretty cautious and you pick and choose your save points without spamming them, you'll actually end up with quite a few by the end of the game. So I think by the time I was finishing up with 3, I had so many save crystals that it was not an issue. I could basically save anywhere I wanted. I don't know where the hell I'm supposed to go, actually. I don't think I need to go back up that way, because I don't think I can go back up that way. We need to go back this way. I should have taken a look at the map before I started making my way back around. Let me take a look over here, though. There might be a ring or something that I can hook onto. Or not. It's a nice look at Lara, but I don't see anything else there. The other not so great thing about 3 is it is known for being really buggy, which I even experienced a glitch in 3. God, I don't even remember what it was, but like I think I lost access to being able to choose, because it's sort of a, I don't know, there's sort of a, like a choose your own path aspect to it, because you can choose which location you want to go. It's not like fixed. So, but I think at some point I lost the ability to do that because, and then it just kept putting me back to like Area 51, which is a section in that game. I think that's what it was, but it was a glitch, and I don't remember how there was like a way to either prevent that, or there was like a 100% guaranteed way to enable that glitch. And whatever happened, I ended up doing it by accident, so that kind of screwed me over after a while. Oh, you know what? There's that central looking area over there. Maybe I need to go that way. But aside from the save crystals and the glitches and all the other crap, 3 was just hard. It was just a hard game. Sometimes there'd be sections that were really vague and you weren't exactly sure what to do, like trying to cross the swamp and jumping on rocks by looking at a in-game item, like map marker that you could barely tell what it was. Stuff like that was pretty cool. And there were just like some insane platforming segments. It could be pretty brutal. That is the spot. I don't see an actual means to get up that way, though. Maybe from the other side. Actually, I don't know if this might not be a good idea. So if ooh, okay. I'm surprised she survived that. She dies from pretty much any other fall damage. Something. I don't think I saw this before. But anyway, in short, I don't think 3 is the best game to go after if you're starting out with the series. Probably want to hold off on that until you get a little more seasoned with 1 and 2. Ooh, okay. Sure, we could do that. I think this is the way, though. Oh, okay. Sorry, Tay. I didn't see what you you left out the most important part of that, but I see that you corrected it. Yeah, no, I'm gonna stream Shadow of the Tomb Raider one of these days. I can't give you a specific on when that's gonna be because it's gonna be a little while, I think. Because we got to do Underworld still. I'm playing these games from start to finish on stream, so it's not like, you know, I'm playing a little bit offline and coming back to it and skipping like huge sections. Like these are pretty much 100% stream games, and we got to finish up Underworld, and I don't know how long that's going to take, especially if I keep getting lost like this. And then we have to go through the Tomb Raider remake and then Rise of the Tomb Raider, which, yeah, that's those are long games. There's something over there. Oh god, this map system's weird. Now, you know what? I think there's got to be something back where I already was. I pretty much came up here just for a secret because there doesn't look like there's anything else here. Tomb Raider 2 starring Lara Croft on PS1 is a very long game. It's pretty long, yeah, I'd agree with that. I do think that others in the series might be a little bit longer. Like 3, I think might be a little bit shorter compared to it. 2 is probably one of the longer ones, but I don't think it's as long as Last Revelation. Last Revelation is... that game is long, and it could get a little boring. Maybe it just feels long because it could get a little boring. I don't know. Maybe those lenses go... wait, what? Maybe those lenses go where that dude be hand dropped down, falls in, so like when you get off that thing, rises back and it catches the light. Oh, no, yeah, the lenses. That's what I'm thinking. We need to go back to the statues. I just need to find a way to get back to the actual statues. Because I don't know how to do that. I thought I needed to go up there. Evidently not, though. And choose a quick draw with them pistols. I see something in the middle here. I don't think there is. There might be a spot I could just climb up there, though. Let's go take a look over there. I might have overlooked it. This is the same problem I was having when I was playing this last time, too. I just didn't really know where to go. The game confused me. Field assistance log.
I think it's time to figure out what these gems do.
Yeah, I think it is time, but I need to figure out how to get back over there. There was, Get on that. I'm trying to think of what I might be actually be able to climb onto. Man, it's too bad she doesn't have a grapple gun like Batman. If only. The other thing about the lenses, I don't exactly know where to put or how to put them in. Okay, that thought it might be worth a try. Do I still have my... maybe not that. Okay, so I still got the 2 gems. Seems to be the ultimate gadget these days, with the Master Chief's got a hook shot, Lara's got a hook shot, Nathan Drake's got a hook shot. Everybody gets a hook shot these days. Indiana Jones rolling it old school. He's got the whip. He was the progenitor of that. I feel like the Master Chief one is just a copy of like the Doom guy chain hook thing from the Doom Eternal. And also, what's his name? The hell, I know I've only played 2, but in the Just Cause games, that dude's got something similar to that too, right? He's got a bit of a like something that you can hook things with. What's the difference between Shadow of the Tomb Raider and Rise of the Tomb Raider? It almost sounds like a joke. I don't know. Why don't you tell me? I don't know. I haven't played Shadow of the Tomb Raider, so I'm not really sure what the differences would be. But Rise of the Tomb Raider was okay. I think it had a little bit too much content for its own good, though, because I got really burnt out on trying to 100% that game. And, yeah, I didn't exactly feel like finishing it. Shadow of the Tomb Raider here is good, but it's got a lot of underwater segments. The lighting's different. That could be, that could be. Wow. I don't have a good grasp at how far you can fall in this game. Sometimes it seems like she can drop a ways and not have it be an issue, and sometimes it seems like, boy, she can't even fall like 6 feet. But the only experience I've ever had with Shadow of the Tomb Raider is watching somebody play it. A friend of mine was streaming it off of his PS4 one day, and I was kind of watching him play it, and he was dying constantly underwater. So I guess I could maybe see where the criticisms for too many underwater segments comes from. I don't know. But I hear for the most part it's a good game. I remember it got into a bit of controversy because they changed the ending of it in a day one patch. Originally, the ending to Shadow of the Tomb Raider was supposed to end with a letter from Natla, and essentially it was supposed to lead into Tomb Raider 1, basically. But they changed it at the last minute for reasons unknown. I don't know if they just decided that they wanted to continue the series without having to do either like a reboot or a remake rather, or what. But with the new Tomb Raider series, that was always supposed to be kind of like a I guess you could consider them prequels to the original games. I don't know, something like that. Oh, look at this, there's a whole path down here. I didn't even see this before. I figured there had to be something that led out, because we definitely couldn't go out through the main way we got in. But everyone that I know personally that's played Shadow has said that it's pretty good. I've heard criticisms of it from people I don't know, but I don't know. I don't know if I trust those opinions as much, or, you know, if they even hold that much weight to begin with. You haven't played either of them yet? Oh, okay. Maybe you could... Whoa! Maybe you could take a peek at... If I stream them at some point, maybe you could see if they might be worth buying for you. I know sometimes that's how I determine if I want to get a game or not. Let's take a look at a long play, or if somebody's I know streaming it, I might watch that. Handholdy spot over there. Guess I could do it from that spot. Ramp. New treasures. Okay, let's see where this goes. But actually, in preparation for playing the entirety of the series, I bought Shadow of the Tomb Raider. Oh boy, I want to say... God, I don't even think it was the summer Steam sale. I think it was like... I don't know, like the Chinese New Year one or something. They were offering it for pretty cheap, and I'm like, you know what, I'm going to play it anyway. But it feels like so long since I actually bought it, I kind of wish I held off a little bit more. But I mean, it was just like $10 or something. I guess it doesn't matter that much. It's just, I don't know. Usually when I buy a game, I typically play it within the next few weeks. Even if I'm just like testing it out, not even necessarily having to play through the entirety of it. Don't feel bad, you got Assassin's Creed 2 and 09. Didn't take it out of the wrap or play it until 12. Jeez. That's a ways to go. Did you pay full price for it? I wonder if I need to drop off of that. Yeah, I'd try to make attempts to not do that, but every once in a while I kind of can't help myself, I guess. That was a Christmas gift. Okay. Well, at least it was a Christmas gift. Damn it. I was hoping she'd grab onto that lower one. I guess not. Well, it didn't take much effort to get over there, so it's not too bad. It's funny, for me, Assassin's Creed 2 was one of those games, because I played Assassin's Creed 1, and I was so impressed with it that I immediately, like, as soon as I finished 1, 2 was already out. It had been out for a few months. But as soon as I was done with 1, I got in my car. Wait, no, I didn't get in my car because there was an electronics store that I was within walking distance. I put my shoes on, and I walked down to the store and I bought 2, full price. Which was rare at the time. I do it every once in a while because I don't buy too many new games nowadays. But, yeah, that was a rare occurrence. If I drop, she's not gonna drop on that platform. Can't jump over there. Whoa! Oh my god! That, like, thud, and then, like, she bounced out? What the what was that? Oh god. It was a really good series, but after 3 and 4, you kind of moved on from it. Yeah, I get that. Oh god. All the bats are clinging on to me. Like leeches, goddamn. Oh. Camera just automatically targeted something. So yeah, I was really impressed with 1. I ran out to buy 2 immediately after that, played through that, and then I followed the series, and I was getting the titles day 1 for a while. I think I stopped doing that after Black Flag. So, what'd you say? After 3 and 4, you kind of moved on. Okay, so you were in the same boat that I was. Yeah, I think after Black Flag, I'm like, eh. I still played them, and I still think I got a couple of them. But, like, I never finished... I got pretty damn close to finishing Unity. I never finished Syndicate. Oh, I see. Okay, this makes more sense. Never finished Syndicate. I barely played that one. Nothing else really interested me after that except for Origins. And I don't even remember if that was the next one in line. But I thought Origins looked cool simply because I like ancient Egypt stuff, so... Skirty Skirts, how's it going? Welcome to the stream. How you doing tonight? Thank you for the follow, appreciate that. But anyway, I really wanted to like Origins. I thought Origins was fun in some regards, but like, it's another one of those games. Sometimes if a game has too much going on, I sort of check out on it. Like, I'll put 30-40 hours in, and then even if I don't finish like the main story, I'm like, I think I'm good on this. And that was kind of how Origins was for me. And then I just, like, the last 2, like Odyssey and the Valhalla one or whatever, that just didn't really appeal to me, so I haven't even, like, thought about getting them. You just played this last night? Good nostalgia trip? I haven't played this game in, like, 10 years, maybe a little bit more. It's been a while for me too. I'm not getting any nostalgia from it because I've completely forgotten everything about this game, despite the fact that I platinumed it on PS3. But that aside, I've been having a good time. It's just I've been getting lost frequently, so that's how you feel about Arkham Origins, but you're going to power through it. Oh, you're feeling the burn on that one? That's too bad. You know what? I gotta say, after playing it, because I've been playing it a little bit offline too, outside of what I've been streaming, and I gotta say, I'm really digging it. Even doing the stupid like Riddler trophies and whatnot, I don't care. I feel like I'm going at a brisk pace, and I'm enjoying it quite a bit. But I also haven't played an Arkham game since Knight first released, so I guess that might have something to do with it too. But anyway, Skirty, I was playing this game on PS3 last time I was streaming it. Found that the performance was absolute shite, so I started it up on PC. It was serviceable back in the day, I guess. I never really cared or noticed all that much. But yeah, it's not great. The performance gets pretty gnarly in some of these jungle segments, so I was like, you know what, I think I'm going to try it on PC, and hopefully we don't run into any glitches like we did with Tomb Raider Anniversary. Your completionist, the completionist is getting in the way of their fun right now. I'm trying to hit the 50 hit combo. Oh yeah, okay, you're trying to do those. I'm not doing that yet, but I probably will attempt to do that, because I probably do want to try and get 100% achievements, if possible. God, I feel like, you know what sucks about those, though? That I've been noticing, is you can do them, but if you don't get credit for it because you don't do it in order. So it's like you need to do the previous task, and then you need to build your way up to all the other stuff. Because it's like, I'm pretty sure I've hit a 50 hit combo before, but I don't think I've gotten that particular task requirement or whatever. Same thing happened with some of the Predator stuff too. It's like I was looking through the list and I was like, I know I've done that before, but it doesn't give me credit because I have to do the next one in line, and I think that's a little bit shitty. Ooh, I thought that was a bat for a second. It's like, damn, it's a big one. So I would make a complaint about that. Like, that's kind of shitty. I think it would be much better if we could actually, you know, just get credit for the tasks that we do, regardless of the order, but, you know, whatever. Oh. Okay, that's weird. I've ever played SOCOM 4 US Navy SEALs game on PS3. I have not. Never been really huge into a lot of multiplayer games. Trying to think of somebody I knew had SOCOM, but it was like the PS2 one. And I remember it was novel at the time because the PS2 was, for at least a lot of my friends, the first like online interaction multiplayer that anybody ever had, because prior to that everybody was doing like split screen and local. But SOCOM, I always heard that people complained about it, like it not being a very good game, but just the sheer amount of interactivity you could do online made it like one of the greatest like multiplayer games. Lara makes you want to go back to the gym. She's unbelievable. I feel you there. Over in my other chat, we got people complaining that she doesn't look good in this one. I was like, man, she looks fantastic. Okay, so there's got to be something to weigh these down. Maybe there's some rock or some crap I could toss into it. Look, oh wait, no, that's a dead corpse. Actually, that one isn't moving back. Crap, we got a bat coming at us. Well, let me see. I think this just means to get back down that little hook-on spot. There's gotta be a way to get up there, because I got to be able to put that lens in. And I think once we reorient it back up to the top, then something will happen. Then we can mess around with those statues with the fans, and I don't know what the hell else is gonna happen, but it'll be fantastic. That's my estimation anyway. Okay, we already saw all that, so that's where we came in from. So let's go up here. Here we go. Go on, Lara, put it in. The Arkham games are what they are. You just wish they were a little more straightforward without so many tasks to complete. Yeah, and I mean, we were talking about it last time, but unfortunately that was just a product of the time. Because open world games were really starting to hit their stride. They were by no means new, but they were starting to like become the norm. And then there were a lot of tropes and stuff that had to be fulfilled. So a lot of the open world games that were released at the time always had that collect-a-thon attribute about them, which could be very annoying. But I haven't been finding any of the Riddler stuff being too complex, and I've been going a steady pace at the tasks, you know, the battle tasks and the Predator and whatever. I got stuck for a second. But I haven't been putting too much focus into it, so I've been enjoying it. I streamed it yesterday. I'm not too sure how far you've gotten since you were last here, but I just got past the Hotel Royale. Hear you out. I should try ASRM. Oh, ASMR. My voice is butter. Okay. Well, I appreciate that. I don't know if I'm cut out for that kind of business, though, but thank you. But anyway, yeah, I've been enjoying what I've been doing so far. I think it's been pretty neat. Trying to go for a lot of the little extra bits that aren't super story related. Kind of off stream, but it's kind of, I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell what's going to be super story related and what is, well, not even story related, what's going to have any sort of like content associated with it and what isn't. Maybe, alright, maybe we should go back up top to this one. Oh, there we go, hold up. Just gotta flip the statue. So I gotta bring it around. Oh, you know what? I think I see what you're getting at. Here, let me move this out of the way. But still, we would need to go put that lens in the other one anyway. In any case. Oh wait, that didn't do it. that didn't do a goddamn thing. We just went in a circle. I don't know. Here, let me move that out of the way. There's nothing cute about her in the game. Oh, are you talking about are you talking about Lara? I didn't know what you were referring to for a second. I'm just gonna go up here real quick. I'm gonna go see if I can do something with the other lens. And then we'll screw around with that. We'll see what we need to do. Of course not, it's all sex appeal. I don't even know if I could actually get up to this point. Oh yeah, I can, never mind. Oh, that was easily solved. Okay, so it's been a few minutes, so let me see what this does again, because I don't remember. raises it up. Puts that in place. Oh, is it timed? Maybe not. I think I gotta do something to get that cage. Oh boy. I'm not 100% sure. I feel like that cage needs to be weighed down. Or the cage needs to weigh down the scale. But there doesn't seem to be a way to actually get it down here. Unless there's something to drop on it like we've seen before. It's not like we can pick any of the stuff up unless there's something in these jars. Let's take a look. Oh. Whoa, whoa, whoa. There wasn't anything here before. God damn. Oh, cool, there's two. Just get rid of one of them quickly. I'm not. Oh, okay, nice. I wasn't expending my shots between two of them, but that didn't even matter. Alright. Where are you at? Come on. Maybe I need to go kick these jars again. Am I out of ammo on that? Oh, damn. Yeah, it's a little bit of a change of pace. You're fighting like tigers and a bunch of bats, and then suddenly there's like these massive wingless dragons. I'm sure it'll get a lot more crazy the further we get into it, though. And they didn't even come out that time. I guess maybe they're like random encounters or something. I don't know. Yeah, I don't think I'm really seeing anything else. What else can I do with this cage? It's always the question. When you got something that you can interact with, what can you do with it? Can I push it off? Is that something we can do? I don't know what I'd need to do with it, having it down there, but maybe that might solve some problems. Oh no. Man, they didn't even put a hump there or anything like that. It's just an invisible wall. Well, that's a shame. There's gotta be something else. Oh, you know what? I think I might see what they want me to do, possibly. Because when the scale is lifted, then the hand stays in place. Thinking about it. So let me try to drop down real quick. I'll see if I can slide it under the scale. I keep thinking I gotta like put it on top of the scale, but let's see. Did I do it? I might have done it. Cool beans, we got it. Thank God. Game making me feel simple. Okay, so now that we got both of them in place, I'm guessing what needs to happen is the fans need to redirect that light to that crystal in the center. It would only make the most sense. But let's see how we can go about doing that. Ah, there we go. See, I thought I pushed it in place like that before and it didn't do anything. Maybe it didn't do anything because we didn't have both lights set up. Ah. Well, there you go. It all fits into place. That's kind of cool. Oh, yeah, don't feel bad. I mean, I know I've played this before, but I have zero recollection about this. But yeah, this game is it's not even that it's vague, but it's just that they kind of hide, you know, the solution to things pretty damn well, which I feel like a lot of games, especially nowadays, and even just in the past in the series, they tended to be a little bit more handholdy or more direct with what you needed to do. And this game, I don't know. I mean, there's an aspect of that I like, because it sort of really does make you feel like you're, you know, figuring this stuff out for real, not even in a game format, but like you're actually solving these ancient riddles or whatever. So it's kind of nice. At the same time, it's somewhat frustrating, but you know. Slave worker, why are we building this? Chief architect. Because one day, in hundreds of years, a girl in booty shorts is going to figure it out. Yeah, there's you have to wonder what the purpose behind some of this is. I mean, boy, they really wanted to hide this stuff, but they had to. It's almost like giving it an Achilles heel or something. They had to put one little piece in to make it all work. You just have to put a lot of effort into it if you want to get whatever the hell they're hiding. And of course, in any sort of action-adventure scenario, there's always a second entrance that's apparently much easier to break into. It's just your protagonist never can figure that part out.
Godlike strength came from.
What? You're saying Thor wasn't strong? For sure, you like how they don't literally make the puzzle objects shine or get highlighted to solve. Yes, yeah. They have like a highlighted rim, or what's become like the fad in the past 10 years or so is like the enhanced vision. It's like it's Eagle Vision in Assassin's Creed, or you know, even in the Arkham games, it's like the detective mode or some shit like that. They do it in Tomb Raider. It's like Instinct or something like that, where you just click a button and then like everything that you can interact with is highlighted for you. Yeah, this game doesn't have that. And I'm sure some people don't like that, but if you're looking for kind of a challenge or something, I mean, the level design is pretty good. Like I said, there's a bit of it where it gets to be a little bit confusing, but I think, I don't know. Once you figure it all out, there's sort of this little satisfying nature about it. At least I feel. But that might not be up to everyone's tempo.
This was here long before the upper temple was added. Proto-Norse runes again. My son, your treasures here and far, This gauntlet's twin, your belt Megingjord, and the mighty Mjolnir, are protected by the dead to keep Jormungandr subdued. But the map's been destroyed, and recently. If one of Thor's gauntlets was here, it's gone now. What's this? Natla, I see your goal and am your puppet no longer. Richard James Croft. Father did this. RJC. Strange. Father never used his middle initial in monograms to avoid confusion with his father. That's where you hid the artifact. You sly old fox. Now, if I can just make it back to the boat.
Yeah, it's too bad we don't have Lara vision. Something that can just point us in the direction of everything that we need to find. There was a ring over here. There it is. That was... whoa, okay. That was not what I wanted to hook onto, but sure. Oh boy, what are we even looking at? Oh no. Oh no. Well, maybe if it didn't hook me onto the wrong thing in the first place, there wouldn't have been an issue. But I guess I was sort of overstepping my bounds. Alright, let's try to approach it from a different angle. There we go. Okay. A little treasure over here. Maybe I do need to go that way. I just don't really see what I can... Unless there's a, let me see. I can't do that. You did gymnastics in high school and college and used to nail a tiny bit of what Lara did, not anymore. It's literally months of training. She does keep herself in fine physical condition. I remember having friends that, like as a hobby, they'd try parkour stuff, and, you know, I'd do a couple things with them, but never to the extent that they did. And, boy, some of it really felt like a killer. So... I'm not saying I've ever done anything to this level for sure, but I could see where, yeah, it definitely could be a bit of a challenge. There's one on this side too. There's a little ring over there. I wonder if I could just drop down and hook onto that. There's something. Here we go. Oh, this is just a secret. Or is it? Getting older and going through an engineering degree, you now see how ridiculous some of these games are, but you still love them. I mean, it's fun to at least play as somebody that's in such peak physical condition that they can accomplish these seemingly inhuman feats. Oh, there it is. Okay. It's like I got the secret jingle, but I didn't see what the secret was. In terms of physical things that the characters do. Yeah. The Lara, in a sense, might be approaching, like, peak physical condition. Nathan Drake should have every bone in his body broken until the hell he goes through. Yeah, he does, like, some pretty insane jumps and stunts and stuff. Especially for, like, a guy his size. I'm assuming that he's a fairly, you know, decently sized man. Oh, we could push this. Okay, well that makes even more sense. Alright, alright, alright. So we gotta create a bridge. Ah, shoot. I think I had to jump, or had to run over it a little bit further and then jump back instead of jump forward. Let's see, can I even... Let's see about this. Yeah, I think I gotta rotate it the way I was rotating it. Boy, but how do I get over there? Or maybe... It's kind of hard to see. Let me try to, like, angle myself a little bit more. Oh, it's already been pushed a little bit. Trying to see if I need to get behind the Thor statue or what. So I can't... Okay, yeah, I can't pull it from here. Even still, it's plottable how someone is out there in a sense. For sure, yeah. Peak human physical conditioning. Boy, that doesn't seem right. If I can go... she's probably gonna die if I do that. Yeah, that seems risky too. I think I do need to, like, jump back, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I'm just gonna die again. Let me lower myself a little bit. There's a thing on the Discovery Channel years ago when a new James Bond was coming out, and they said everything James Bond does is real. There's no single person that does everything James Bond does in real life. I mean, I guess they tried to make... They made an attempt to make things a little bit more realistic with the Craig ones in some regards, but yeah, I mean, he still does, like, impossible feats at times. But I guess nobody... that didn't work. Jumping back didn't work. I think we just have to jump to the side. I think maybe I just didn't run it far enough. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe they think that we don't know all the details that go into British secret servants or secret agent training. Okay, this works a little bit better. Because I think I can... maybe not. I think I might be able to scale that from the other side in the center there, though. Because I could at least jump to the center from this ring. James Bond works for the government. They're feeding you lies. You never know. Okay, maybe that's what I needed to do. And I think I could even move it a little bit further still. We're making some progress with this. Yeah, I think I need to go that way, so I need to move it just a tad more to the right. Whoa, 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 whoa. Off with you. What gets these bats so damn upset? I just had to figure out that you had to go behind the long part and not try to jump back to the center there. I can smell the blood of the previous final boss on you. Maybe so. Maybe that's why Lara was looking at her hands so much. In Anniversary, she could absorb the essence.
And I am Thor no longer, it seems. I wonder how he charged it up again.
Well, got war and thunder and all that. Maybe he had a little electricity somewhere. What the? Oh, spiders. Still got these goddamn spiders coming after me. Knock it off. That didn't work. I got a secret. This game looks pretty damn good. I am playing it on PC, so it probably looks better than it did on console during the day, but I think it looks pretty slick. And she still does that weird thing in this version where I try to move the analog stick and it looks like she's breakdancing under the water. I don't know what that's all about, but... it's like she can't decide what she wants to do. Alright, well there's doors down there, but I don't see any switches or anything. I just need to get across. Listen to that thing. Jingling around. Yeah, you did mention that the other day, Anaji. But yeah, this game had a lot of effort put into it, especially in the visual department. I think they were really trying to push 7th gen hardware at the time. They probably pushed it a little too far considering the performance issues we were running into during the last stream, but I mean, you could see the effort there. You also said that the texture work probably is lower resolution, which it probably is, but I don't know, I still think it looks pretty damn good. Do we have a breath gauge? Oh yeah, I guess that's that secondary blue Lara. She had the most polygons for a video game character at the time. I don't know if that still holds today. Probably not, but that's kind of impressive. I'm surprised that that was actually the case. I don't think I've ever heard that before. You know what? I've got I recently bought, and it's out of print, but I recently bought Making of art books. It's a 2-volume set for all of the Tomb Raider games up until Underworld, and it's got a lot of behind-the-scenes notes on the Legend trilogy. I should read through those. Probably some little interesting factoids that I could share with you guys at some point.
There was a map, but Father destroyed it.
Well, the acorn certainly didn't fall very far from the tree.
Yeah, I'm not envious of swimming in boots.
To keep the information from Natla. But I'm sure he recorded everything first, and what's more, he found Thor's other gauntlet.
Where'd he put it?
Right under your nose.
You're obsessed with Legend, for sure your favorite Tomb Raider game. Just Legend the game itself, or the Legend trilogy? Because this covers all the games. It's got all the core games. It's got Angel of Darkness, which I guess is a core game. And it's got notes on Legend and Anniversary and Underworld. And definitely, I was kind of disappointed because I was sort of hoping that there would be more behind-the-scenes notes on the core design games, but there really wasn't. That's the slim book. The thick book, which is like twice the size of the other one, is the Legend trilogy. It's sort of a shame. Because you'd think that with 6 games, that would be the bigger book, but no, it's the other set. But there's got to be a lot of information in there, so. Oh boy, we get to choose an outfit. We can go jungle shorts, jungle pants, or casual. As much as I like the shorts, I think maybe casual is probably a little bit more fitting. Let's see. I think I'm going to go... Let's do the shotgun. I was kind of curious about it before. I want to see how it operates.
My apologies, Lady Croft, but I have not tended to the crypt.
Why didn't you ever tell us this was down here?
Yeah, I wish I still didn't know. You know what? I'll wait up here.
I did warn you that playing your music so loud could wake the dead.
I did. I'll go and do it after the cutscene finishes.
What makes you think it's here?
Father signing his name with all 3 initials was a clear reference to my grandfather. Light, please. It seems my father was full of surprises.
There we go. Protected by the dead. Journal entry unlocked. Lock your current butler in the freezer. Oh, man. If only. But anyway, yes, I did play Angel of Darkness, but I played it on PC. And... can you still do... I doubt it, no. Unless, I mean, there is a... boy, there's a Croft Manor thing you can select from the main menu in this game. It's actually kind of cool. I remember liking that quite a bit. But I don't think what's his name, the butler, whatever his name is. I'm gonna call him Wheatley, but I don't think that's right. I don't think he's walking around like he is in 2. I'm pretty sure that's like a 2 exclusive, unfortunately. But anyway, you asked, did I like Angel of Darkness? You were too young first playing it to even realize that the controls are bad, but you love the little RPG options. So yeah, I thought the RPG options were cool in that game. I did play it on PC though, and I played it with the mod restoration called the Rescued mod pack. So one, it fixed a lot of the glaring control issues. It also reintroduced some stuff that was cut for the game due to time, like the dual pistols, and it felt like a decent game. The only thing it lacked in was the story. Obviously, the story was still half-assed, and you know, it was open-ended and didn't lead to nothing. But overall, playing the game with the Rescued mod pack, I thought it was pretty good. I had not played the PS2 version prior to that because I already heard that it was a pretty bad game, and I've since heard what all the detailed specific issues with the actual gameplay were, and it does not sound fun. Specifically with like the delayed sprinting and some of the collision detection issues in that game. So yeah, I wouldn't have enjoyed it if I was doing the original PS2 version. So select the Waynes. Crofts have their own bat cave. Something like that. She should set up a little like superhero type deal in here. I don't know what I forget what his name is. I don't know. Wheatley seemed kind of fitting. But whoa, what was that? It's like bouncing off everything. God, what am I doing here? All these bats and spiders. We need to get Wheatley down here. He needs to clean out this shit before we go like romping around in here. Hasn't tended to the crypt lately. What the hell else is he doing? Oh, that's weird. Got like their own stained glass feature. Okay. I think I need to go back up top where I originally was, and then subsequently fell down. Let's go check that out again, because it seemed like it was going somewhere. Go on, Lara. Jump on the thing. Yeah, this is I mean, it's even for, I mean, here's the thing. I'm stumbling over myself because it's hard to express into words just exactly how ridiculous this potentially is. But I don't know, I guess the Crofts got an assload of money, but good lord, even the richest people in the UK, I can't imagine they have like mansions with these like you say, Dante's Inferno type crypts beneath their mansions. I mean, the Crofts must have been like really raking it in. You'd think they were royalty. Thought locking him in the meat freezer in TR2 is bad. He never caught them lately. I've only ever done that stunt once. Well, maybe a couple times with friends. It was usually our goal. But we used to get freaked out by him because he was like creepy looking and he sounded weird and he was always grunting and huffing and a little jangling of the dishes on the platters and whatnot. So once we found the freezer, we knew what we had to do. It's like the game devs planned it all out. Let's see. Can I grab onto... No, I can't. Maybe I could just jump. Yes, I can. Cool. Okay, no, that didn't work. Whoa, that didn't work. You call him not Alfred like a gentleman. Oh, excuse me. Not Alfred. Yeah, I guess there aren't too many butler names, are there? We only have so many to work with. I don't care what he wanted. He was weird. Follow you everywhere. It was like, what the hell was that movie that was big a few years ago? It Follows or something like that. It's like how horrifying that was. Same concept. Except it gives you tea instead of kills you. Okay, can I actually jump over there or am I gonna die? Okay, cool. We did not die. Not yet, anyway. This looks like I want to pull it out. Oh boy, I hope there's nothing up there. If it is, it's probably nothing important. It's been years since I watched that. I watched it once, but I remember it being pretty good. At least decent. There was a lot of like new age horror movies coming out at the time. Not all of them were hits for me, but some of them are alright. That, and I remember like The Babadook was one of them. Wasn't as keen on that one, but I guess it was okay. Can these spiders like knock it off? Just go fuck off somewhere else. Yeah. I mean, you know, you hear a bunch of ruckus going on in the basement. I mean, it is Lara Croft after all. She's probably firing off her guns to, you know, shut out the lights at night. So, I guess I wouldn't be too worried about her. It's got to be a common occurrence at this point, yeah. That is a good point, though. Bunch of weird squeals, squawks coming from the basement, a bunch of gunshots and shit. And, yeah, it's Lara. She knows how to take care of herself. Okay, none of these are working, I assume. None of them will do anything? Alright. I had to try all 4 before I moved on. You never know. That central panel needed to be pushed in before the fire turned on, so I'm guessing we'll need to get that other box in here. I guess that's how we get back to that central area, but I need to figure out how to get this box. Oh, maybe I could just walk it through, actually. I just gotta walk it. Gotta walk my ass all the way over to the end of the hallway again. Can't even sprint. Exhilarating gameplay. What is that? Try shooting it, that always works. I think it's a treasure, but I don't see a means to actually access it. Unless I get it from over here or something. I'm not too worked up about it. There is also that stick. You never know what those can do for you. Gotta find somewhere I can shove that. Man, 2 boxes ain't gonna do it, huh? Wonder if we need 4 of them. I better go back and sweep the area again, make sure we get all boxes. God damn it. Whoa! I think it, like, embedded itself in the ground. Also, that 500-pound gate just smashed on Lara's boots. There you go. Okay, let's go back up here and see if there's anything else I could pick up. Oh yeah, there's another. God damn, there's another box. That's the spot I could put a stick in. Kidding me? Oh, it's the bats this time. They're back. That one wasn't even there before. Alright. Gotta go night-nights. Good to meet you too. Thank you for following, Skirty. Thank you for chatting a bit. Appreciate it, and hopefully we'll see you again sometime. I usually juggle a couple different games, so if you see me streaming again, I might be doing some Batman Arkham Origins. But it is my goal to finish every mainline Tomb Raider game, so we'll be doing Underworld and then the remake series after this, but should be back with this in a couple days. A few days, maybe closer to the weekend. But anyway, you have a good night. We'll see you next time. Get this back over here. Okay, hopefully that was the wise decision. No way. Oh. Maybe there's other pressure panels or something like that. Oh wait, looks like there might be some. What is this? No. I am in disbelief that one does it. Oh, and like the gates are open too. What the hell? Spent all that time getting all 4 of these things in here because I thought for sure. Oh, it's not going to push down with just one of these boxes. We got to get all of them. Alright. Really, I just wasted my own time. That still opens something. Hold up. Oh, that's disappointing. Alright, well anyway, let's go see... What is Does this do anything now? Oh god, this looks menacing. This looks like a like right before you fight like the Minotaur or something in God of War. What the hell is all this? Alright, that seems to be locked in place. I don't think we can do anything with that just yet. Eh? Oh, yeah, I think I get it. We gotta make like a shadow. Does it only flip? Oh no, it flips 2 different ways. Okay, cool. There you go. Again, it's not one of those situations where it's like, what the hell were they thinking? Like, if we're thinking in terms of reality here, what was the thought process in making this? But, I don't know. I guess it's better unanswered. It's kind of like when they said it, you know, like, oh, this in, God, what was it, like Resident Evil 7? Like, the same architect, the genius behind the Raccoon City Police Department, created this fantastic mansion and all the wacky, weird stuff that goes on in it. It's like, well, we don't really need the explanation. I guess it's nice in a sense. Okay, so we gotta make a gauntlet run to make sure we get that gate. I mean, I'm not gonna make it, but I don't even know necessarily what path I need to take. What the hell do I need to do? We could get up this way. No, not that. Oh, and there's a ring up there. Okay. Alright, that's not so bad. I thought we were gonna have to like run around the whole crypt. Find like a jump off point from one of the edges there, but that's not too bad. It does stay open for quite a while. But like, why? Why make this? Timed doors. Oh, shoot, yeah. Whoa, jeez. Yeah, there's webs everywhere, but I'm still not used to the concept of just spiders jumping out at you. A health kit and a treasure. Let me see what this place looks like. Right, info. Oh, only 13 treasures, wow. Not 47 like I thought there would be. The crypt is a little smaller than I anticipated. Ever since I got rid of the flashlight in Anniversary, I actually forget to use it. And then I turn it on once, and then I never turn it off again. Ah.
Hello, Lara. Here in this room is everything we recovered from Bogavati, Thailand. Be especially careful with the thralls. They managed to kill 6 of us before we boxed them up. They were protecting one of Thor's gauntlets and a map showing where the rest of his treasures were hidden. all of which are necessary to open the way to Avalon. The Norse believe this site contains a powerful weapon, and to safeguard against this possibility, I destroyed the original map. I hope this was not a terrible mistake, but if it was, I hope you and your mother can forgive me.
Oh, those must be the thralls. Tupac is not dead. Gotta have faith. Press Y to stop thralls and prevent them from rising again. What the hell? Okay. Take that, Lara's dad and company. The thralls killed 6 of them before they could box them up, and she just took out 2. Like nothing. Alright, I got a stick. I need... Yeah, probably need to put it somewhere. There's also something in my eye, and it's bugging me. Ugh. Okay, we can move this somewhere. Man, it is really light. I know it's the gauntlets doing, but wow. This thing moves like a cloud. Okay, realistically, that's got to be somewhere to use as like a bridge or stepping stone of some sort. I was gonna say we got this box here, but I guess I can't move that. I guess the only way to really find out is to make a jump. Like how those pottery little deals, they don't even like break up. They just dissipate into dust. I might have had the right idea. Hold up. I mean, that works for now. Oh. That is just a treasure. Well, okay. Let's see. Well, there's some broken ones over that way. I wonder if I should place it over there, because it looks like there is a way to get out. I don't know. Hold up. Let's move it back over here. Come on, come on, come on. Oh, and I can still get up on these little rim deals here. However... Oops, that didn't work. Oh, I could just jump on this if I wanted to. If I slid down that, would that give me like extra oomph? Probably not. Oh, that didn't look like it did anything. Oh, well, I definitely can't move it over there. You know what? There's that little bar over there, though. Hold up. Ah, shoot. Maybe. I might have found it. Yeah, why not? Look at this stupid treasure. Thanks.
That didn't last long.
Oh, yeah, that is disappointing.
Oh well.
I remember to use the flashlight. Probably shouldn't be messing with the electricity if it hasn't been operated in some, like, 40 years. Oh, finally. Mein Gott. We're finally back at the beginning of the game. Took a while. Although it would have been kind of fun if, like, this was the end of the game. No, you know, just with more content in between then and now. Kind of surprised they make you do all this again. But at least it could look a little better doing it, knowing how the controls all work and everything. That, and I actually have my mic on right now, so I guess that's a little different than when I originally played this. On stream, anyway. It's like a new beginning. Oh, that is... okay, I guess that works.
Look out! Stop! It's Lara! I know!
Drop it, Zip, or I'll drop you.
What? So you can shoot me again?
It wasn't Lara. Why
Yeah, I think that's what she means by that.
She got into the vault. It had to be her.
Is that what happened here? Someone blew open the vault.
All right. Say it wasn't you. Someone who looked a hell of a lot like you opened it using the retina scanner.
Impossible.
Exactly.
Then what happened?
She got away with Amanda's race stone.
Where's Alistair?
We haven't seen him.
I'm going to the tech room to watch the security video. You two get out before the roof comes down.
That seems a little dangerous. I'm gonna go watch some videos while the whole mansion's on fire. Be back in a bit. Oh, is there a specific... okay. Boy, even this. We gotta parkour our way into the security room. Silliness, I say. No, get up. Just getting her ass handed to her by sexy goth Lara. It actually kind of looked like Angel of Darkness Lara Croft.
Alistair,
I feel bloody awful.
just lie
Her
still.
own clone, and neither of them will be virgins.
I'll see.
Doesn't hold the same connotation, I think, as Dr. Robotnik.
In Avalon.
Oh. Well, shoot. Here I'm making light of the situation. I didn't think he'd actually die. Oh, that's sad. Oh, look at that. Evil Lara has a braided ponytail, too.
No.
You sound so broken up about it. No.
What the hell was that thing?
I've only seen something like it once before. A doppelganger that Natla sent after me years ago. That one didn't have a mind of its own.
But how could Natla have sent it if she's Amanda's prisoner?
They're a team of sorts now. Amanda and Natla, her pet Atlantean god.
What are we going to do?
After I deal with the authorities, I'm going to southern Mexico to retrieve Thor's belt.
What? Alistair's dead, and it's just business as usual?
I need Thor's belt to get his hammer, and I need the hammer to kill a god.
All right, well, at least we know what we're doing. Southern Mexico. Ooh, let's see. Jungle heavy, jungle pants, or jungle shorts. Well, this is the new outfit, so I guess we might as well take a look at it. I didn't even get a chance to use the shotgun last time. I don't know if I want to use it now, though. I might try the submachine guns. Oh lord, here comes the bike. Okay, so there are bike segments in this game. Unlike Tomb Raider Legend, it's not a fixed path that you need to, like, drive down and have people shoot at you. At least, not what I remember. I remember the bikes being a little bit more open. I mean, obviously we're on it now and we can drive on it as we wish. So I guess in that regard, it's kind of like Tomb Raider Last Revelation or Tomb Raider 2 with the snowmobile. So, I don't know. Maybe that's kind of like a harken back to classic Tomb Raider, I suppose. But much like those games, it can also be somewhat confusing what you need to do with the bike. I specifically remember getting stuck in a couple segments at specific points in the game. I think one of them was really late in the game. Because I wasn't sure if you needed to do stuff in conjunction with the bike, and I think you needed to use the bike in certain instances to get past platforms and puzzles. So yeah, it could be a little bit confusing, but that's how it goes in this game for the most part. How far are you gonna get in the game? You just came back in the chat room. I made a decent amount of progress. We made it past the Thailand section, and then we went through Lara's crypt, and then we finally caught up to the prologue little bit where the mansion explodes, and now we're in southern Mexico. So I don't remember exactly in relation how far that is in this game, like if we're halfway through or what, but we made a decent amount of progress. It was a little slow going because it was hard to kind of figure out some of the levels and some of the puzzles and some of the other areas. But for the most part, I think we did a decent enough job. But anyway, that should be enough for stream for tonight. It is a work night, and I got some stuff I got to do tomorrow morning that's going to be somewhat involved. So I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for right now. I will be back with more Tomb Raider. What is it, Tuesday? Tomorrow we're going to be doing some Arkham. So, I'm going to say probably Friday I'll be back. We'll do a little bit more Tomb Raider Underworld. I think there's a decent amount of this game left, so I don't think we'll be finishing it up, maybe even this week. But we made some decent progress, I feel. Again, it feels almost like I'm going at it at a bit of a slow pace, but I guess I'm fine with that. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Appreciate it as always. I will be back tomorrow more than likely. We will go ahead and do some Batman Arkham Origins. Gonna try and finish up some of the side missions and that, maybe do a little bit of story progression since the last stream was pretty much all story. And then, yeah, we'll come back to Tomb Raider kind of closer to the weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, one of those days. So stay tuned. But again, thank you guys. Appreciate it. And you all take care. Let's see. Oh boy. Yeah, nobody's streaming except for the regulars that usually stream this late, and I've already rated them several times over. So think I'm just going to leave it for tonight, and we'll see if there's a new fresh crop that pops up maybe next time I stream. But in any case, y'all take care. Have a good night. We'll see you around next time. Later.